Hello, everyone. So we're on PandaNet today. I wanted to see if we could talk a little bit about simplifying our thinking. So I want to focus a lot on that when it comes to playing the game here, because it seems as if from a lot of the newer students I've gotten and from older students that I've had for a while here, maybe people are actually overthinking things. Like instead of trying to read out a bunch of variations and figure out what the right move is right away. What they actually should have done was figure out if they even needed to play another move or if they needed to do something else. Like the first step in trying to play a really good solid game of Go is actually making sure you're playing in the right area, playing the right idea, and then figuring out the exact move. That's sort of like the last thing that you actually have to do. So I like to simplify it as I come up with two options for how I want to handle the local scenario after I decide that I might need to respond. And that third option, people always say you have three options for things. That third option is always Tanuki. So if I can't find a good move locally, that's when I will play away. First step, deciding if you have to even play. Second step is deciding which moves to play. It seems people always jump to step two. So let's get into a game and see how this goes here. All right, got a game and we are black. Of course, we're doing all of our 3-4 points. And we need to say hello. Yep, just another 3-4. Still keeping to the very basic opening for now. Simple enclosure, no reason to approach. This early on, we don't really need to make too many decisions. I like to just enclose. You could approach, you could do something else. My original plan with this opening is to get solid territory right away, so we're just doing a bunch of enclosures first. Interesting. They're doing a very large a two space here. That's very interesting. Okay. We have sort of two options. I always like to think of things in terms of two options. We don't really have to do anything, first of all, with our own stones. Our own stones are always very solid. We don't really want to play on a side that is purely only our own. So I either want to play near the top side, where we're reducing the potential that they could have, or we're going to do something like splitting the left side right now. Either one is actually going to be fine. We'd want to do like 5 spaces this way, and this would totally be fine, or some sort of split. Since we're going for more a territorial style game, then the split makes the most sense. We just want to make sure we're leaving 2 spaces on either side. So here it looks correct. All right, pushing us towards the corner. There are interesting moves like you can do sliding. You can try to do something special in the corner. But we're just doing the 2 space extension, keeping things as simple as possible. And we haven't even really gotten to a point where we really need to make a decision until just now. So our opponent is attaching to us. First of all, yes, we do need to respond to this. Our opponent attached, we should Hane. So what Hane is the correct one? If we Hane over the top and they extend and we push again, they're sort of double Hane'd on either side. So when they Hane either direction, we can do some sort of double Hane on them because of that shape. The Hane at the head of 2 shape can always be double Hane'd. I think the thing we really want to focus on probably is the territory, because if we go over the top, we're getting a lot of influence in their area. Well, not necessarily territory, the base is what I really mean. So we go over the top, we're getting a lot of influence, but we'll have to keep running away with our group. So if we go underneath, we're likely to get more of a base. So I'm going to play the Hane under to start. Yes, and we do want to respond again, because if they Hane, we're just cut off. We do have 2 options though. It's not always just connect. Like just connect to the stone directly. We can also fix our cutting point here, because if they Hane and we cut, we can capture their stone before they do anything. So I like to fix our cutting point and then decide what they're going to do after. I'll decide how to handle what they're going to do after, I mean. Turning over the top, which does make some sense. They're getting some influence here. I kind of want to push into the corner once to see how they respond. So I'm going to push here to expand my eye space. They're doing the Atari first, so that's okay. I think I've talked about this before, but you do need a certain amount in a row on the second line in order to be alive. So we have 4 right now. We need to get to 7. But we have this stone here, so that's 5, 6 potentially. And we have a push as well. So actually, we're very close to being alive. It doesn't seem like it, but we definitely are. The question is, do we want to let them surround us, or do we want to just live locally? I think I don't really want to let them surround us easily. So playing another move here would make sense. So I'm going to do this bump here, threatening to jump away. And if they go for the surround, there's still attachments and cuts and other things there. So the shape is not super powerful for them. And if they're going to do something like this, then we are able to jump out, get out towards the center here. We're not going to be as alive now, but we are very close to being alive. And they're just going to take the top side here. All right. I still want to focus on my group. So I'm going to push again here because we just need, was it 7 in a row? And so we're at 6, 7. They can do the Hane and connect. So we're just at 6 right now. So I want to just come out one more time to make sure there's nothing there. If we jump, doesn't seem like there's anything they can really do to hurt us. Seems like it should mostly be fine. But for some reason, it feels like this diagonal is the correct move. I'm not exactly sure why. So we'll do the diagonal. Just feels like we don't want to allow any sort of weird cuts or weird bits of Aji in that area. Now our group should mostly be fine. They got to take the bottom side. And so now we can still move towards the top side if we want to, or we can now go back and take our own side. Because we got into the point where we can still extend over here, for example, or extend toward the top, but taking our own side's just as wide now. So I still prefer to play on my opponent's side a bit more, but we're trying to keep it fairly simple. Just some sort of 2 spaces, or a shoulder hit on the top could work. We still have somewhat of a weak group, so I kind of like the idea of this shoulder hit here, just making the middle more strong overall. Probably doesn't matter which one we do. So I will just jump. That's the most common move here when they push. I think I've already forgotten what I was supposed to be talking about, but it's okay. All right, cool. They did not respond on the top, which means when we block this top side, we are taking some territory. So I'm very, very happy to take the top side. This jump is trying to go for the center when it's still time for the side. So 100% okay with taking any points I can get over here. Even if they invade, this should still be nice. They're turning, so we will extend. If they Atari us, we connect. That seems okay, but they're separating us really cleanly. So I want to extend at least once. Don't let them have the Atari. Oh, and they're doing something that doesn't quite make that much sense. But they are trying to make me into a weak group. And so the best way to save your weak group is to connect to your other groups. So turning over the top here and trying to connect could work. Doing a more direct connection, trying to jump towards it is nice. But I think I like the turn. We're just trying to get closer to our other group. It's not about completely connecting. It's just about trying. And same here, I want the Hane, trying to connect up. And there's a little bit of Aji here, so we can definitely just defend if we want to. But this isn't a good spot to look at our options. Like, do we need to really defend? So defend, I guess we should need to ask the question, do we really need to do this? If the answer is yes, then we should just figure out the right move. I don't know if we actually need to defend right now. What would be the next idea? Potentially attacking their singular stone. And so we just have to decide which direction is the right way to attack. If we don't defend, what do they do? If they cut, we can potentially just ladder, right? The ladder should just work. If they like attach or something, we can give it up and just try to stay connected. So we should be fine. So yeah, I think the other idea of trying to attack this stone might make a little bit more sense. And then the other option is Tanuki. If we think we're fine over here, we can Tanuki and try to get the points and see what they do with their weak stone. Sometimes that's the better option. So I don't know which one I want to play. Just some sort of move over here in general should be fine. Star points always feel good. So let's start with the star point. I don't think we need to defend. It's hard to know exactly what we're getting from the attack. So let's just make a big extension. And they're invading, which is great because now they have 2 potentially weak groups. So I'm going to make sure they can't do anything to the corner or get any sort of base here. The other option would be trying to surround right away, but I don't think we need to do that yet. So just something to help them, well, to help myself here, make my corner very strong and make it so they don't have a base. They're invading again, which doesn't really make any sense. I'm guessing their goal is to maybe attach to this stone. So this is where we could play a very cool iron pillar here. This could be kind of nice. It's really important to try to figure out what your opponent is doing, especially in a complicated situation like this. They have stones all over the place. So what do we do about that? In this case, just jumping away could be fine. It probably isn't that big of a deal. Doing some sort of diagonal could be fine. I kind of like this move, so I think I want to do it. But I think their next goal is some sort of attachment. So I'm going to prevent the attachment. Now, I don't know if this is the right idea, but it makes me feel good. That's all that matters. Okay, they're jumping. We can jump to keep them separated as well, which should be fine. We can also connect underneath, which is also really good. I think I'm going to jump to keep them separated. Out of those two options, those ones look really nice to me. That one looks the best to me. Oh, they're shoulder hitting us, pushing up, pushing here in general. Something like that should always be fine. Probably don't even need to respond technically, but I will push up because that's going to defend my corner a little bit. They're basically attaching to us, so we do usually want to respond to that. They're going down, which is a little bit surprising. Well, here I had two options before, to separate or to connect, and now I'm going to go back and connect. Now they can't attack my potential group here in the center, and my corner should already be pretty strong. I'm trying to keep an eye on the bigger picture, because if they are able to figure out a way to attack my stones, I could end up losing the game. They're just peeping, so we'll stay connected. Was it even a fool connects against a peep, right? All right, they're trying to connect up their stones, which is perfectly fine. We're already pretty strong here. And so what's the best way to sort of handle this? Honestly, it probably is just to attack one side and then go back to the other side after we're done. So do we have to even really respond locally? Is there something we have to do there? I don't think so. I think we're perfectly connected. We don't really need anything. If you can't read that out, you can add one more move for sure. But I think we are connected for the most part. They do have this weak group. So I think trying to attack them, force them to live on the other side is good. And so you attack with the knight's move. We're going to be pushing them or surrounding them in this case. I don't really want them to run away. So we're doing the surround. Yep. They attach to us, so we should Hane. Usually we'd want to play this move, but in this case, when we play this tiger's mouth spot, they don't have to respond because our push and cut is just a ladder. If that's just a ladder, we don't need to play that one. So we can either just connect instead if we want to be very solid, or we can push if we want to keep the surround up. I guess the tiger's mouth would be similar, but I think we're trying to surround, so let's keep pushing and surround. They Hane, just got to keep our stones connected, keep pushing. And if they turn, we have to back off, and well, we want to make sure our shape is strong, so I'm just going to stay connected here. Now, definitely our two groups that were potentially weak at some point are 100% alive now. We don't really have to worry about them. They're Haneing here. I don't know for sure that they're actually alive yet, but I'm going to assume that they're alive, and we're definitely going to punish this Hane. I think that's something I've wanted to talk about a bit as well, which I tried in a couple of videos, I think. But again, we have to figure out the idea, like what we need to do. We have to make sure that we do need to actually respond. We are surrounded, so we should probably respond. But when you are so solid on the board and your opponent plays something like this, you should almost always go for the cut, because they're not going to kill your original stones on any side. So if they just have to give up this stone, they're just losing points. Here we could potentially even Hane again, actually. But I'm just going to extend again. It's tempted to be very aggressive, but I'm not going to be. And then we're going to capture this stone. Make sure they can't run that stone out or do anything special with it. They still have to defend again. And they're Haneing again, which means we could actually cut again because they're not alive here. I really want to, but I think I'll just Hane instead because it's a cut that's sort of complicated. So now it's a lot simpler and we can just Atari. That makes things a lot easier. What I was going to say is they should just extend. They'll fix their problem, but now we can just surround them really easily here. So I don't know exactly what they were expecting. This double Atari here doesn't really matter because the stone that gets double Atari'd here doesn't matter. It's the cutting stones that matter. So we can just extend here. Okay, they're playing the Hane. Now they have to go back and live somehow. So we will respond. They connect. We have a lot of Aji here. I think if you can read it out, we're actually potentially fine, but we're going to fix it anyway, just to make sure there's no mistakes that are made here. And it's okay if they live. The point's not necessarily killing them. The point was surrounding them and sort of punishing their mistake here. Just block is probably fine. I kind of want to do this one, but just block, make sure they can't expand, and make sure they don't get into our territory. This should be correct. Correct enough, at least. They back off like this, which is quite interesting. I think we do have a little bit of weakness on the outside, so we could fix that if we want to. But I guess the question is, can we kill them? If you can read it out and you can figure out a way to kill, definitely kill. In this case, I'm going to fix my biggest weakness. My 2 stones here, maybe there's like an elephant's eye here that I have to worry about. Maybe there's some other stuff I have to worry about. I think I'm just going to jump off to the side. We're going to grow the top side, fix our weakness at the same time. And if they think they're not alive, they'll play again. So I think I like this idea of just jumping off to the side here. Okay, they're jumping in. That's okay. We were just defending ourselves. And if they're jumping in, we can go in as well. I don't know which one I want to do, but I kind of want to attach. No reason for this one. It just feels good. That's all. So let's do that. We can extend here. We're going into their area, so that feels pretty good. And I'm happy to keep going. Yeah, happy to keep going. More than happy to just keep walking into their area. It doesn't really bother me. And we can do it again, because why not? If they let me push all the way down, I feel pretty good. And we do have some weakness here in the center. We can probably cut, actually, but that's pretty complicated. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. We broke into their area. I'm going to go back and fix my potential cutting points. This is where you could maybe do something more complicated here, because they do have a lot of Aji in this area. Is there anything else we need to do? Not really. I think the only thing really left is going to be some endgame. Something on the left side here. I really want there to be a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to try that. I think the best thing to do is try to take advantage of their weakness. They do have a large knight move here. So doing something to attack this large knight move feels pretty good. And it looks like this works, but if you can't read this out, perfectly acceptable. That is why we played so solid. So we can play moves like this one. So we can play that cutting move, right? We want to get these moves in so we can try to do something and have a little bit of fun with it. So they're going to cut us off. So all right. And we go down, see what they do. Ah, they're going that way. That might be the right answer, but they do have a lot of Aji again. We'll highlight it a little bit here. There's this Atari. There's this Atari. There's a move over here, which is threatening stuff. But I think they can potentially do something if they want to. I'm assuming their group's alive, so we're not too worried about capturing or them capturing these 3 stones anymore. So we're probably just giving that up and capturing these 2 stones. They could have captured if they went the other way. Since they didn't do that, that's okay. I'm still just going to go under. We could actually probably do this. I think they made a mistake. I think this actually does work. So this was a little bit of a mistake on there. And they can capture the 3 stones if they wanted to, but they didn't quite do it right. I could have captured the 2 stones as well, but again, not too big of a deal. We'll just turn. We'll just get something here. We kept it simpler. I wanted to try to do something more complicated. We didn't have to, so we're all good. Let's just move on. It's easy to get caught into trying to do more, but it just doesn't always work the way you want it to. I think we can poke a little bit their shape at the top side. They're not 100% alive, so we're just going to force them to be alive. Usually that's something you want to do when you are trying to play some good in game. So we're just going to push into their area, force them to live, and fix our shape. I guess we can fix our shape some more by threatening to cut through them. We can threaten to cut through them again, so it's not too bad. And I'm just going to... We don't need to worry about anything over here, right? Yeah, we'll push. We'll just connect. We'll just connect. They're going to live. It'll be fine. We don't need to kill. If we really want to kill, we can probably play something like this to try to get something, but they can always play on the inside if they really, really want to. We'll see what they decide to do. I clicked that on accident. Okay. Go up here. And again, I'm not going to try to kill or anything because it should be difficult to do. We're just going to threaten them. We can go down, big in game, or we can play some other sort of thing. Playing sort of Hane, going down here feels good. So I'll just do that. We need to finish off the end game and get done with this one. Jumping in some more. That's not really the biggest place on the board. We can do a nice peep, which feels okay. And we are just going to fix so we don't have any cutting points that we have to worry about. We get Tengen, so I'm happy about that. Okay, they can cut, but what are they cutting? All of my groups are alive, so it really, really doesn't do anything. So we don't even really need to respond, I guess. But let's Atari here to save our 1 stone. Our other group has 2 eyes already, and we can just get to the next big endgame move, which is on the side of the board, not the center of the board. That center of the board move that they played was only one-sided points. That's the only person who got points there was me. And so they took it away, and that's all that happened. Now they're doing it again. This is an area that's one-sided. I'm not making any points if I play there. They only they are. So we get to play Hane. They didn't need to do that. That was just a misread. Well, maybe they needed to do that. I wasn't paying attention. I'd have to double check that, but maybe. So we got that one. We can go back over here, which feels really good. Get this connection. So another place where we made points and they lost points. So that feels really good. Okay, they captured there. I want to do this Atari because if we can capture those 2 stones, it'd be really nice. They do have this Hane now, which is really cool for them. But I think we also have some nice Hanes, so I'm going to do those first. So we can push and connect. And then the same in the upper left. We can do this Hane first. And usually you can actually do this Atari next, but we're just going to push. There's no reason to do any Ataris here, I'm pretty sure. And just connect. So we finished all of the end game there. And we can go back to this Hane on the bottom. And we're basically done. They connected. I'm not sure exactly what they're going for. But 1 second here. Oh yeah, I'm not even sure if they're alive yet. We'll just play the Hane on this side to force them to live. We'll connect as well. All right, they're getting their Hane. And we can connect this way because it also protects, but also make sure there's no other Aji here. We don't want to respond to this one. This is just a reading thing. If we respond, they can cut. We have problems. So no need to respond. Instead, we connect solidly. So when they capture, we can block with the tiger's mouth. Like this, yep. Actually, not sure they're even still alive, by the way. Just back off. I do actually have to go. So we may see what happens when we try to kill this group, depending on what they play. Okay, that's Sente-ish. Sente-ish. I guess technically we are connected and live everywhere. But yeah, let's just see what happens when we try to go for the kill here. Because I do have to leave. I have a lesson I have to get to. Trying to make this work. We can actually play this move here, threatening to still poke into that same spot. I know what they're trying to turn this into a direct eye, but now we can actually just push up, threatening to capture stones. They can turn, maybe. Oh, in this case, we'll just capture. That's easier. I think if they turned, they could turn into a potential Seki, I think. Yeah, I think it could have been a Seki, but they did not see that, which is okay. We just want to fix all of our cutting points and problems, so push here should work. They only have 1 eye. We can connect to make sure there's no problems, because all of our groups will be connected throughout. And we probably don't even need to respond, but we're going to respond just to make sure there's nothing special that they could have done there. Okay, just connect. Again, all of my groups are connected, so there's no weakness that we have to worry about. We are alive on the left side, so it doesn't really matter if they cut through. So I'm not going to worry about it. We're live on the left side and we're live on the top, so this connection should be worth more points. Going to Atari here. Threaten to capture that stone. That's worth points. Probably just going to finish up the game and not worry too much about commentary maybe from here. And we can capture this, which feels really nice. Yep. Capture. Just connect should be good. We're still alive for now. We can get this in Sente, which is really nice. And then we can go back and be 100% alive on top just to make sure. They need to fix the center, otherwise they die even bigger. So that would not be very good for him. Good. They fixed the center. No big problems there anymore. Might as well just peep and finish up the game. Well, it looks like it's finally the end of the game, so we can probably pass here. Yep. Mark everything down. I think that's everything. And yeah, we're done. Okay. I won by 55 points. I guess I thank you for the game. If I can type, my goodness. Like, thank you for the gamer. That's not quite not quite right. Uh, I didn't focus as much as I wanted to on this, but I think overall the idea that I want to get through is we're just trying to decide if we need to play again. And if we do need to play again, then you start thinking about your moves. In this game, it actually kind of ended up being just more of a nice lesson on fighting. And then I made a mistake later where I needed to do something more complicated in order to make this work. And it was just a bad idea. So I should have just moved on and did something different. Just do the end game, and it would have been fine. But it's all okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got to go do something. So I hope you guys are having a good day and have fun.